Hey everybody, happy Thursday. It is chamber check-in time. And today I have Sloan Security Group's founder and CEO with us, Mr. Bryce Sloan. Hi, Bryce.
Hey, how are you doing, Paul?
I'm doing awesome. Looking forward to sharing the Sloan Security Group's history and origin and what you guys are doing. But first, I get to thank our series sponsor for these check-ins, Bryce. It's Delta Dental of Idaho. You know, Bryce, Delta Dental is Idaho's leading dental insurance carrier, and they offer affordable employer and individual dental benefits plans that are backed by the nation's largest network of dentists. And with that, I get to share a fun factoid from their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
Dental benefits are a smart and affordable investment for small businesses. Why? Some plans cost less than $1 per day per employee. You're more attractive to prospective employees. Plus, good dental health leads to good overall health, helping employees unleash their smile power and save money. Help keep your employees smiling with Delta Dental plans to meet your small business needs.
Thank you, Delta Dental. And Bryce, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks.
You've got an interesting background. What are we doing? What do you got going on there?
Well, in the interest of plausible deniability, it could have been a birthday or it could be counter surveillance. You can choose.
I love it.
It's definitely real, though.
It does look real. Hey, the purpose of these check-ins are to share our members' stories, their products and services, and how they're impacting the communities. And so it's a great opportunity to talk about Sloan Security Group. So why don't you get started with maybe telling us a little bit about your background, and then share the story of how Sloan Security Group began.
Sure. So I think we're a classic Idaho success story. We started out doing the work that migrant workers didn't want to do in terms of cleaning up logging areas after the loggers left. We would go in and pile slash and fall disease trees and do all different types of things. And from that, we got into fencing as the forestry industry went under. And then we got into fencing, and from highway fencing and then security fencing out there about home. And then in 2004, we became part of the missile defense program and worked for Boeing and solving some security issues there. And from that, we've developed a business that is really we're really a global company in terms of our impact, particularly in the physical security integration space.
So 2004 was kind of a pinnacle year. And then
it's really a pivot.
Well, and I remember reading something on your website about after 9/11.
Sure.
As well.
Sure. So 9/11 was, again, we developed these skills in physical security and some niche applications, particularly in the DoD. And then 9/11, these really became more pervasive as threats became more pervasive, and we've got involved in both the DoD, DOJ, all your acronyms, plus your commercial entities that in helping provide physical security integration.
I want you to explain a little bit more about that physical security. So what does that look like? Explain to me, beyond the fence, right? I can think about a fence
sure
around like a United States Post Office place, but tell me a little bit more about what that physical thing is.
Sure. So if you look at, the physical aspect of that, so you're almost with the equipment we put out there, almost certainly you're going to have a guard with a gun. So you're going to have somebody around the equipment. That will be a physical. There'll be a physical fence that may be a little bit taller than you're used to. It may have a sensor in that fence that is detecting the presence of someone around the fence, maybe a radar sensor or some other sensor. And then in the entrance area, you're going to see a gate, probably an entrance apparatus that may take you through a serpentine entrance to have your vehicle slow down. The gate itself may be hardened to take an impact from a 50 maybe a dump truck going 50 miles an hour. And this is all within a very highly engineered foundation, a highly engineered system that's probably protecting something fairly significant.
For example, off of Fort Street, we have a national building there that you guys have worked on.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So that would be the Mcclure Federal Courthouse, where we have the equipment. It's the walls. There's some integrated walls into the landscape that's more probably a little more decorative, and then you have a guard structure, and then you've got gates protecting different entrances, and then you have some bollards that are protecting the approach to the building itself.
And then
it's one of the few examples locally.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I saw you guys did some stuff with the WASMA Center.
Sure.
As well.
So one of the areas that we've gotten into is really, I think, support businesses and entities in Idaho is delivering cameras and sensors. And so the WASMA Center, Interface Sanctuary is another example, Women and Children Shelter. We've gotten involved in the community in terms of helping deliver camera systems that protect some of our local assets.
Okay. And we're talking a little bit about Boise. Are you a local Idahoan? Is this are you from Idaho?
So I moved here when I was 12 years old. So I think I can claim to be a local. So I've been here, graduate Centennial High School, went to University of Idaho. And so I can say that I'm from here, I think.
There are several companies that are headquartered here that have, or there are few companies that are headquartered here that have gone globally. And so why don't you share a little bit with our listeners and myself how you scaled globally and when all that kind of happened?
So you think about where we started, in forestry, and right now we have someone in Saudi Arabia working at one of the consulates, for example, and we are delivering systems there, fixing systems at the kind of the State Department of State level. So that's a part of our business that we've developed a skill set that's fairly unusual. We've got some very good systems engineers, and that's become in demand, particularly in the embassy world. We sent a couple people just came back from Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. We've been in our embassy, Oslo, Moscow, The Hague, Nachok, Mauritania, in Africa. So we keep delivering systems, and it's a scale that's really become in demand. So it's really been a pull as people are wanting our systems to help with their physical security infrastructure.
Okay, and I'm sure that takes a healthy amount of players on your team. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the expertise from your team?
Yep. So on that side, it's really an understanding of gate systems, sensor equipment. Interesting enough, we're working in a site right now that we're having to figure out the interference from the cell towers that were interfering with some of the sensors. And so we're trying to figure out, okay, which band of sensor can we work with, and how do we shield it from some unauthorized radio spectrums that was blinding some of the sensors. So we're figuring this out. So really a broad spectrum of skills, ranging from wireless, just sensors, to some of the physical metal, the material science within the gate, which is a stainless steel gate because of local corrosion issues. We've got a really great broad skill set of people. a group of people that have a broad skill set.
Yeah, I would imagine electricians, and then those folks that know how to actually put together that fencing and make it integrate well with the correct power to run those things. And I think it's just amazing how
well it's really an engineering mindset.
Yeah.
Engineering, it's a mix of practical from the fabrication perspective all the way to high-end systems engineers.
Okay. Hey, we talked a little bit about some of the projects. Can you tell me and share some of the industry, the wide swath of industries that you're serving, and maybe talk a little bit about some of those project highlights?
Sure. So currently we have 4 areas that we're active regionally. Boise is one, San Jose is another, Seattle, and Denver. And within, particularly down Northern California, we serve a lot of your web companies, your Fortune 50 companies with their headquarters. So Facebook would be an example of one of our clients that we deliver services to.
Okay.
Not only do we have kind of the physical skin integration, we also have a metal fabrication team here in Boise that's been involved in a lot of the local projects in the community that you see around you, and that we started to serve ourselves and now serves the community as well. And they've been active a little bit in the chamber as well.
That's awesome. I'm going to throw your website here on the screen so people can really dive in and take a look at in more detail some of the projects that they've been involved with. You mentioned community. Tell me a little bit about Sloan Security Group's passions as far as supporting the community that it operates in.
Yeah, so our passion is really delivering security. I mean, that's what we do. People hire us because we're really good at this. And one of the things that's been inspiring for us and helping kind of hone this vision and understanding of what we were intensely interested in was our work at the Interfaith Sanctuary and helping people that really don't have any property kind of think about the other end of the spectrum in terms of our customers, at the very other end that have no property and really typically have no safety and very little security, and really helping the shelter develop their security and giving them the security they need and safety they need to start a new journey, to try to hopefully a healing journey from homelessness.
I love it. Thanks for your efforts there as well. And now I'd like to have you toot your own horn a little bit. And I saw some of the awards that were on your website, but why don't you give us a brief breakdown of how Sloan Security Group's been recognized, and maybe some of the ones that you're most happy about?
Sure. I mean, I would start out as the Best Workplace Award, and super, really proud of that. I think we've won a number of awards. We have a wide group of people, really a divergent group. We've got engineers, we've got fabricators, we've got project managers, and it's super, for me, it's really gratifying to bring people together, in this pandemic, and to lead a group that's that diverse, and yet create that respectful, positive workplace. And that's been reflected, I think, in our workplace awards. Recently we were named the Specialty Contractor of the Year in Intermountain West. Kind of a cool recognition. This was the first time it's ever been given to an Idaho. This kind of recognition's ever been given to an Idaho contractor. I think we're probably the smallest company that's been recognized this way, but a very cool award. Also very proud of our recognition from the Idaho Technology Council for innovation for some of our projects, and particularly a system that we use some military grade radar equipment to detect animals going onto the roadway up in North Idaho.
Oh, that's cool.
So a very cool project. It won a lot of international recognition, working with ITD and the tribes and the county, and then some other technology providers to build out this system.
Bryce, I am so excited to be able to share a little bit about Sloan Security Group with you today. And I know I've learned a lot, and wow, I had no idea how security is elevated to what it is, and that you're an Idaho company that is scaled globally. Thank you for your investment in the chamber over many years. We truly appreciate it, Bryce.
Thank you, Paul. And we value the chamber as well. I mean, what you guys have done on the flights and making sure we've got transportation options coming out of Boise has been really critical to us.
Awesome. Well, again, tell the team hello from us. Keep the shoulder to the wheel, my friend, and have a great weekend.
Thank you so much, Paul.